Hey yo, this is your boy X-Man. You're now in tune to Stacked Out Online Radio, the only place to come and do your live streams, powered by the RC1. Pow!
Mr. DJ, Nicky Blackmarket. Mr. DJ, Nicky Blackmarket. Mr. DJ, Nicky Blackmarket. Mr. DJ, Nicky Blackmarket.
This is Scotty Ranks. When I'm anywhere in the world, I listen to Nicky Blackmarket and the Junglist. DB DJ, you know them a dead, you know them a dead. No for them a worry, no for them a worry, some of them a fret. Nicky Blackmarket of the stopper.
Blackmarket bring the wicked bassline, same kill for sing DJs all over the night. Blackmarket bring the wicked bassline, same kill for sing DJs all over the night.
Nicky Blackmarket, play my song. Draw my door plate, you a DJ down. Them sort of tune, they should have reached #1, yo. You know it's for my jungle list. Zoop, zoop. You're locked in to the original Jungle Don, Nicky Blackmarket. Mind the gap. Shadow.
Then I still this is Johnny Osborne, the dancehall godfather. I represent the wickedest sound, the Blackmarket sound out of London city scene. Big up man like Nicky Blackmarket, Miss Osborne. Say that sound ya. Run tune selector.
Evening peeps.
Yeah, musically dangerous. Yeah, dangerous. Yeah, I am dangerous.
Sunday evening. Nicky Blackmarket podcast. Stacked Out Entertainment. All cylinders go.
When I go to a stage on the stage or ramp, I am dangerous.
Kicking off the show, something new from the profile, Sub Killers. Something from the Amplify. This one's called Fall. Shout out to everybody that I see over the weekend. Shout out to everyone else over at Capone's in Thursley on Friday. Also 26 years of Epidemic. And then all the collab crew up there in PST yesterday for Straight Out the Lab up there in PST in Birmingham. Don't forget, at the top of the hour we got interview with MC Bellyman. Nice little interesting one. Got to send a big shout to my daughter DJ Mills. Won up and coming award yesterday up in Milton Keynes in Unit 9. Congrats!
You
Mr. Mackenzie.
You acting kind of.
This one, the Enter remix of Don Dada. Forthcoming Bio Beats. Shout to the fat man. Shout to the Chris Sadler. Big up the Emir. Big up the Vicky. Shout to the Sherry. Shout to Lisa, big up to Jamie. Shout to the Terry Crips. Brand Spankers remix. Shout to the chopper on this. Shout to the Scotty. Bottom heavy on this one. Big up to Simon. Good evening, sir.
We're not gonna die. We're gonna get out of here. Shout to the Clive, says heavyweight style. Shoulders right. Oh, we're all gonna die here. We're all gonna die. All of us. I don't wanna die. We're not gonna die. We're gonna get out of here. Shoulders right.
Brand new Toxinate. This one is called Twilight. Shout to the Lee Davis. Got all this technology, right? When it doesn't work, it don't work. Can't be old school pen and paper, you know? Shout to the Rhiannon.
Girl, call me, for your play a deal, she said. Don't left me out with me a verbs by the bag and prosecco by the grace. Come with your tools, come me God need real Congo. You can make me ball out for God's sake. I sing out your name like a dub plate. Me pit it ready figure. How's your stay? So hurry up and come deep, just make haste. Them a ball for the real damn winner. Two dump in a banana be a dinner.
Parley B, Ragged Twins, yours truly, Chatter B, and Ryan Dub on the mix.
Girl want check the bad man fishes up. Discreet thing when me keep undercover. A long time now the girl want be me lover. She said she want the bad man to deal with the proper. She no want no fool, no idiot, no joke.
Big up to Charlie.
Sure man, she no deal with teenagers.
Shout to the Patrick.
Bad man to put her now and coma. And cause of that she a live like a loner. Girl them a ball for the real damn winner. Two dump in a banana be a dinner. Who say I love for the real big stinger. Walk left boy, them girl in a inner. Girl them a ball for the real damn winner. Two dump in a banana be a dinner. Who say I love for the real big stinger. Walk left boy, them girl in a inner. One see a ball for the black banana. One see a ball for the rocky launcher. Rock with a skin ladder with a pamper. Me a sarag am up in me na Jerry Springer. That time me say Lela. One see a ball for the damn lumber. Kiss me lip. Pop me a the Rama Jama. Near anything me man got that brother.
saying, Steve? Songs of praise business, wicked.
Girl, them a ball for the real damn winner. Two dumpling a banana for your dinner. Who say I love for the real big stinger? Walk left boy, them girl in a inner.
Don't forget, at the top of the hour we have great little interview with the Belly Man. Stacked Out Entertainment, Nicky Blackmarket podcast for Sunday.
Taken out. Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill.
Sound of the Bruck on the remix.
It'll be a cold day and how the day I take it out. Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill. It'll be a cold day and how the day I take it now. Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill. It'll be a cold day and how the day I take it now. Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill. It'll be a cold day and how the day I take it now. Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill.
Shout to Nicola and Kev, how you doing? Big up the Andy.
It'll be a cold day and how the day I take it now. Make no mistake, for real, I wouldn't hesitate to kill.
Shout to everyone I see down at the PST last night. Wicked little vibes. Big up the Benny. Big up the Heist.
Nicky Blackmarket on the champion selector. Nicky Blackmarket on the worldwide selector. Nicky Blackmarket come to kill your man selector. Nicky Blackmarket, me say him know that the counter. Anything test I me say murder. Jump out and cross the border. Kill them already, me say kill them again.
Shout to the amplifier on the mix. Diffuser.
Nicky Blackmarket on the champion selector.
And the Ranking Joe on the smash.
Nicky Blackmarket on the champion selector. Nicky Blackmarket on the worldwide selector. Nicky Blackmarket come to kill your man selector. Bang diddle 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 diddle. not what you have unleashed. No, not what you have unleashed.
Brand new one coming from the complex.
You fool. No, not what you have unleashed. You fool. No, not what you have unleashed. You fool.
Shout to the Reza. Big up the Camille.
No, not what you have unleashed. You fool.
Shout to the Joanne, how you doing?
Right about now, I know y'all digging this, so just turn up, we about to bring
not
it.
what you have unleashed.
Bring it down.
Something forthcoming from yours truly and Lion Dub. This one's called Break It Down.
Turn up.
Don't forget at the top of the hour we got some interview with Bellyman. A few things you didn't know. Interesting one.
Right about now, I know y'all digging this, so just turn up, we about to bring it. Okay, I'm reloaded. Bring it down.
Brand new Turno. This one's called Show You Something. Shout to the Ellis. Big up to Isaac. Shout out to everyone locked in, locked on. Nicky Blackmarket podcast. Stacked Out Entertainment. Big up the Mango.
You make this rather snappy, won't you? Let me show you something.
Into a brand new VIP. We're gonna have this one as the VIP profile remix. Benny B's, the Unix, Abaldi, Kung Fu. Little bit of wobbly business. Wicked. Shout to the Melissa. Says nice.
This is Scotty Rams. When I'm anywhere in the world, I listen to Nicky Blackmarket on the jungles.
Everybody wanna know. We just want to make the music fire.
Been smashing this one for a little while. Sound of RV.
Get a little higher.
This one's called Everybody Knows.
Hey, hey. We just want to make the music flow. Let the beats and bass play it so kind of different.
Shout to the Matt.
Tell them again.
All the Random Concept crew.
Hey, hey. Come on, let's set the place on fire.
This is Scotty Ranks. When I'm anywhere in the world, I listen to Nicky Blackmarket and the Junglist. Dibby DJ, you know them a debt, you know them a debt. No for them a worry, no for them a worry, some of them a fret. Nicky Blackmarket of the stopper.
Sorry, I had to take this one from the top.
What do we tell them? Come on, everybody wanna know.
Shout to the Richard.
We just want to make the music fire.
Big up the James.
Desire. Come on, let's get a little higher. Higher.
Big up the Rosie.
We just want to make the music flow. Let the beats and bass play it all kind of different flow. Tell them again, so everybody knows. Higher. Hey. Come on, let's set the place on fire.
MC Buster, wicked vibes last night, sir. Talib, how you doing, sir? Shout to the Jacob.
I know you gonna dig this.
Big up to Mr. Ford. All the Somerset massive. Big up the Frisky.
I know you gonna dig this.
Bucket. Shout to Chris Edwards.
I know you gonna dig this.
Shout to the Kaiser Sosa. Big up to Mr. McKay. Shout to the Callum.
I know you gonna dig this.
Into the VIP. Dub plate style. Shout to the Freeze. Yours truly on this. Marvelous Kane remix. Shout to the Marvin. Skarsha. That's coming from the Jacob. Big up to Eddie. Moving into Voltage remix of Serum's Up in Smoke. Pure P-line on this. Shout to Neil, all the Herefordshire crew. Pick up the Rob Ash. Shout to the Jamie, shout to the Bradley. Big up the UK Fresh. Shout to the Fiona and Tim. So it was at Printworks yesterday. It was proper going off. Wicked. Big up to Simon Riley. Sound of the Crucial. This one's called Gangster. Right out now on Cartoons. Big up to Mr. Jones. Shout to the Craig. Shout to the Rob Barber. All the Raven Tots massive. What a da! Shout to the Liam. Big up the Caleb. something brand new from the 10 AD. Look out for this young guy. This one's called Got None. This is the VIP. Big up the 10 AD and all the Foxes crew. Toddy Tempo, all the Geordie Massive.
You say you were gangster, but you never popped money. Say you a gangster, but you never pop none.
Big up to Stephen Price. Gonna go old school for the next one.
You say you a gangster, but you never pop none.
Send this next one out for Tony McKenzie, old school crew. Shout to the Ryan. Big up to Janine. TJ Bookham's Horizons. Wicked classic.
The horizon leans forward, offering space to place new steps of change.
Send this one out to Sherry and all the original morning after crew. You might have heard me playing this a few times. This one's called Dreamers. Pick up the Glyn. Shout to the Mr. Edwards. Says getting into this now. Shout to the genetic crew.
We come to have a good time and not watch the face. Little uncle times over top and bass. Don't ever money up on the case. If I'm music you're looking for, we send me happy deal. We make your foot skank, make your finger hand in here. And if I'm from a place, fat man feel it in here. When the place gets so up.
Big up the Peter Harrison.
When we play from a place, yes, it's instantly. When the baseline, 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 baseline.
This one limited featuring Fatman D. Bassline skip. Wolf coming on Fatman's album, Biobeats album. Look out for that. Big up the Fatimus.
Music you're looking for, we send me happy deal. We make your foot skank, make your finger hand in here. And if I'm from a PS, fat man feel it in here. When the place gets so hot, we need a fan in here. When we play from a bass, yes, it's instantly.
Shout to the Jane. Making history, this is the Filthy Habits remix. R.I.P. to the Dominator. Shout to the Mr. Barnes. Wicked little session on Friday night down at Capone's, Thursley. Big you up, sir. Shout to the Marta. Nice one. Into something that's just come out on Cartoons. from the Gravity. Big up the Rob. This one's called Elements. Don't forget, shortly we have the interview with MC Bellyman. Rachel. Shout to the Todd. Big up to Kevin. Shout to everybody messaging in. Please bear with me if I haven't read them all out. It's going bonkers. Big up to Nettie. Shout to the Paul Jones. To the James's. Good to see you, sir. This one's Sandra Profile and the Replicant. This one's called Ghetto Huts. Shout to the Mr. Bordeaux. Shout to the Luke Gordon. Big up to Mandy. Shout to the Mr. Boyle. Shout to the Claire. One vintage, never mash up.
Talk.
Touching one. Sound of the J-Dan. J-Dan is back. This one featuring Diligent Fingers. This one's called Creeper. Shout to the J-Dan, all the Foxes massive. This one's naughty. Big up to Stephen Price. Big up to Neil. Richard. Pick up Richie. Into the sounds of Ozone. This one's called Took My Soul. This one's out on Bio Beats now. Okay, coming up shortly we have the interview with Bellyman. Very interesting one. Moving into something new from Kendrick and Baker. This one's called Disbelief. Brand new Bites. Big up to Alex. to the Matthew. Big up to Danny Green. Shout to the Robert and the Leon. Big up to Luana. To the mango. Messages going potty.
This is Johnny Osborne, the dancehall godfather. I represent the wickedest sound, the Blackmarket sound out of London city scene. Big up man like Nicky Blackmarket, Miss Osborne. Say that sound now. Rough. Run tune select.
Right, gonna play one more just before the interview. Wicked little interview lined up with the Bellyman. Stay locked. This one, Sound of King Youth. Gotta say a big, many happy returns. Big happy birthday to the King Youth. Birthday the other day. Many happy returns, sir. Pick up to Mr. Sansom. Original London W1 crew. Shout to the Caroline. Big up to Mr. Ayres. Shout to the Dominic. Shout to the Mr. Barnes. Sorry, I need to see this now. Big up Andy Neal and all the Stafford crew.
No bad man, we don't say you a fool. And when you need them, when we are walk with we do you.
Big up the Maxim. Big up Alex, all the Edinburgh crew. Don't forget, keep it locked. Got the interview with Bellyman coming up very, very, very shortly. Big up the Shanker. Shout to the Scott Mitchell. Big up to Sarah Jane. Shout to the Tom Randall. Boy, this message thing's going bonkers. Big up to Luana, all good, thank you.
No bad man, we don't say you a fool. And when you need them, when we are walk with we do you 16.
Right, keep it locked. We're going to go into the interview now. Keep it locked. Interview with Bellyman. Up and coming. Keep it locked.
Hey yo, this is your boy X-Man. You're now in tune to Stacked Out Online Radio, the only place to come and do your live streams, powered by the RC1. Pow! Hey yo, this is your boy X-Man. You're now in tune to Stacked Out Online Radio, the only place to come and do your live streams, powered by the RC1. Pow! Hey yo, this is your boy X-Man. You're now in tune to Stacked Out Online Radio, the only place to come and do your live streams, powered...
Tom, Bellyman, wicked to have you on the podcast show. Thanks for coming up.
No problem at all, my old mate.
You got a Barry's there, Barry's tea, right?
Always, you know how we do it, sir.
Wicked. Right, let's take it right back. Let's take it right back to the beginning. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born in Hamwell, northwest London. Grew up in Hamwell till I was about 11. Moved on to Greenford. From Greenford, moved to Norfolk. Then I grew up from, I'd say, about 12 onwards. I was in Norfolk doing bits and bobs until I got to about 17. Met the missus, and then we parted and went from mum's house and went and done my own thing.
Quite within the same vicinity, though, right? Quite close, close knit. Yeah. So when you were growing up, what were you listening to? What kind of music were you listening to? What were you
Patsy Cline, whatever my mum. Oh, anything that was playing in the house, Top of the Pops, all the rest of it. It was my brother really that got me into the underground music. He was going acid house.
And he was slightly older?
Yeah, he was older.
How older than you?
He's about another 8 years older than me.
Okay, right. Yeah. So then you're looking, he was into what? All the acid house, the raves, early rave stuff. Summer of Love. The original Summer of Love. Okay,
yes,
right. Yeah. Okay, right. So, So when at this point here, when you left school, what jobs did you have? What were you doing?
Well, it's into the music first. It was from school. I got expelled from school. I didn't really do too well at school.
Bit of a naughty boy, yeah?
Not really. It just didn't work out for me. I just didn't get on really too well with the learning and the lessons and the rest of it. It just weren't for me. It just weren't my road in life. But from school, I left school, started working for agencies.
At what age?
From about 16, I reckon.
Right, okay.
Yeah, from about 16.
Yeah, because...
I'm saying that, sorry, I was 15 because I remember actually having to wait for my CIS card. And
right. See, nowadays, that would be absolutely unheard of. You can't leave school until you're 18 nowadays. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like myself. I left school the day I turned 16. You can't do that nowadays. It's impossible, but...
No, I was doing all right. Like I said, I left school, started doing a few jobs with the agencies. Knew it weren't for me. Actually, I'm sort of glad of that part of my life because it was them jobs there that learned me what I didn't want, and sort of pushed me on to do better in life, if you know. One of the first good jobs that I really got myself involved in, really, that sort of was the road to here was when I first started. I remember first going to play on radio. I was 17, it was like 1997. And I started playing for Life FM for Paul Roast. They started up a new station, I think it might have been just like about 97, early 98, that sort of time there. And started getting right into it, had a set on Life FM. And I got offered a job by one of my pals, Steve Vibes, to start working in a record shop, which was Dirty Fat Beats, which is on Uxbridge Road. Well, it's not now, but it's where it was, Uxbridge Road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just, mate, it was beautiful doing my sets on radio, then getting the job for the record shop, working in a record shop. Then we got a studio down the back of the shop, which we started making.
You could say I was going to lead on to the next thing. When did you realise that this was for you? You're saying about 17, you reckon?
Well, yeah, I think, if I look back at it now, it's easy to sort of look back and see like the trail. But when I kind of knew it was for me was probably, them sort of ages then, because at that time there I was DJing. When I first started on Life FM, I weren't an MC back then, I was DJing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was sort of having that turn. If you remember a few years around that sort of time, it was going into the garage. Jungle was sort of coming down, and the garage was really strong. It was really coming through at that time. He was doing well. I think you in the shop at the time opened upstairs and started selling garage like upstairs, if I remember rightly. That's all that was going on upstairs.
Yeah.
And so it started making a big turn, and I was doing that. I'd say it was probably for the MCing side of things. I'd say 2004, moving up to about 2004, where I sort of started writing lyrics. I sort of started looking at the scene, seeing what I was doing. It was
So
the
the
drum and
MCing
bass
thing
now.
started for you 2004.
Yes, that's when I remember the first professional gig that I did was for Jack Dramatics.
Okay.
And
as an MC?
Yeah, as an MC. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, some people don't know about this, but you had a record store.
Yeah. Dirty Fat Beats. It was up by the Heath Tavern on. In
and how long did you have that for?
It wasn't actually me who owned it. There was a lease on the gaff. It was Stevie Vibes and Bevis's store.
Okay.
But I was running it as manager down there for about 2 and a bit years or so, I'd say.
Okay, right. You found that interesting?
For about 99, I think, to about 2001, 2002, something like that it was.
Okay, nearly three.
1999 to 2001, 2002, yeah, about that time.
Okay, and that's, I suppose you had the garage explosion was going on.
That's when it was. Most of what was getting sold in that was Jungle and Garage and that,
You sold Jungle in there as well, right?
Yeah, Jungle as well. Jungle and Garage, yeah.
Brilliant. So, going on to what you said, your first paid gig, that was Dramatics, yeah?
That was Jack, Dramatics.
And where was that?
That was in Bristol. It was the O2,
right?
Whatever it's called. What was it called back then? It was just, I think it was just the Carlin Academy, or I can't even remember what it was. But the O2, Bristol O2, and it's for room 2 for that. I come down and done a set with DJ Raven at the time, and Jack was down there, he come in and we was blowing up room 2. It was just like a little attachment at the time to the main arena.
Okay.
And it was proper popping in there. I remember a proper little vibe, you know. It's about, like I said, about 2004, 2005 then.
Brilliant. And then you were saying about radio, your first insights to radio.
Radio, my first ever radio show was as a DJ going back, it was at Life FM. So when I was doing the radio, when I started doing that, then it was like, I remember coming and as an MC, my first radio station that I
as an MC,
yeah, as an MC. I'm trying to think what the name of the radio station was. It was something major. I don't know, but as airwaves, I remember the first place I started making real moves for the radio was Origin. It was Mr. T at the time. It was Mr. T. I don't know if you remember Mr. T. He was partnering up with EZM. And they didn't really have many MCs on Origin at the time. So to try and get on there, I remember trying to give off demos or whatever it was sort of thing at the time. It was quite difficult. And I think, who was it who got me my first set on Origin? I remember Mr. T was the one that gave the okay. But it was, let me think back. I think it might even have been Raven again. If I remember rightly, it might have been Raven that got me involved on there. Got a set. Yeah.
And going into that, the whole streaming business, because you was at the beginning of all that streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So you was on Origin, and then this whole new ball game of broadcasting, i.e., streaming, come along. So how did that hit you? How did that come about?
Well, when the streaming come along, first thing that I was looking at is like, I was watching these little streams and that, and people were trying to do streams from the house, but it just sounded awful. So my first thing was like, how can we get the sound of this to sound good? And I remember looking through different streams, watching this, watching that, and there was this one guy who was doing it right in particular. Sticky something his name was, Sticky, some dude anyway, going way back.
Okay.
And I watched his streams and I was like, how is this guy doing this? What is he doing? Anyway, I got in touch with the geezer, I emailed him, messaged him, asked him what was what, and then I found out about the iRigs and how he was doing it, how he linked up and all that. I thought, right, that's it. Straight away, I come up with a concept of the Bellyman show. I was half sort of doing it anyway on live, but without the live streams, it was on, like a webcam on the website, sorry. So it's the same sort of concept. They had their webcam. It was all going on already, but in a different way. So I thought, right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to come up with this concept now where I'm going to bring in an A-lister one week. I'm going to bring a newcomer the following week, and we're going to start getting a proper little bit of hype, give the up-and-comings a little platform, get a vibe, get all the A-listers to pump it, and sort of make it what it is. The plan just worked out beautifully. It worked out perfectly.
I think it's highly important that it's got to be same time, same place next week. That's how we all start. That's how we all start. It's got to be religiously the same time.
Yeah, people know, don't they? People know. That's going back like old school. You'd know, come on the weekend, Super Sundays, you had Brocky and Det. You know, it's just something that was tuned into the head. So I was aware of that, like what you're saying. And the Thursday was what it was. It was Thursday, 4 till 6, bring the artist in, let's start smashing. And it just took off. It took off. I was bringing different artists on week in, week out. And people just
blew up, didn't it? It blew up.
Yeah, it blew up, man. You was part of that building.
Wonderful.
It's one of them things, man, I'm proud of. The Bellyman show, even still today, we're bringing so many up-and-coming heads coming through. People love being on it. They travel far and wide to come down and get on the Bellyman show.
Which before you were doing up there on the radio was just audio, right?
Audio, that's it, yeah.
It's just audio. Now all of a sudden there's visual and audio to go along with it. You can watch it as well as listen to it at crystal clear broadcasting.
Yeah. But I think as well, it's a good point you're making there, because a lot of people who were doing the radio at the time carried that radio style, especially the MCs I'm talking about here, but they took that radio style of MCing and automatically assumed by bringing that radio style of MCing to a live stream that their live streams would blow up, and it would be almost simultaneously like the growth of radio. It would be brilliant for them, and this would be brilliant. But it didn't sort of work out that way, and I could see that at the start. I'd go into certain sets and I'd start firing off lyrics and all that, and you just sort of see the numbers dropping. And then I'd start doing competitions. I'd be like, right, got a couple of tickets to give away this week, got some jumpers to give away. Started interacting with the people. And as soon as the people started feeling like they were part of the show and you was actually bringing them into the show, the numbers would start going up. And I could see the difference of what was drawing the people there, and
it's interesting. It's very important, the interaction with people.
The interaction is the key.
Extremely important.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. It's when it comes to the live streams, it's all about interaction. Interaction is the key.
Definitely. So let's go on to what's your best ever experience out on the road or wherever? Best experience you've had?
My best ever experience. I'll tell you what it is. It's quite easy to answer that, right? Because it always, as soon as somebody said something like that, bang. And I've said this a million different times. A lot of people will know this when I'm saying it here. But the best experience with me was 1995, right? In 1995, queuing up with my pals, getting into Labyrinth, 12 Dalston Lane, and that door opening. Me getting through and the bouncers not
running.
You got to think, I was 15 back then, Nick. You know what I mean? And I'm going into these I'm not getting in. My pal's Dalston. Dalston was raggo. Like, you did not want to be walking back through Dalston, on your ones, because it was raggo. Dalston was raggo. So it's like, please let me get in. You know what I mean?
Once you're in, that's it. You're raving.
Yeah. Once I opened that door, and that was my first rave. The experience of them doors opening and that green laser coming from the back, hitting you right in the head.
That's right.
Smoke,
Yeah.
The gates at the back, all the dancers. You know what I mean? They're basically in their bras. And I'm like, where have you been all my life? Hey, where you? Sorry, I didn't say my kid's birth and all that. I'm sorry, but
so all right, let's flip it. Let's flip the coin now and say your best experience as an MC, as an MC.
You know what? Best experience.
You as an artist, as an MC, your best experience.
Right, my best experience was, again, I got to shout out Jack for this, because Jack Jamaics, we're going back to about 2007 now. I've been grinding for a couple of years, getting myself the feelers of things and that. And Jack, at the time, gives me a brilliant opportunity. And he says, tonight, I'm going to put you in the box, which was Southampton. It was a Southampton uni. Yep. Yeah, you ever played down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the box. Brilliant little venue. What they got down there, Pucker. He goes, I'm going to give you an opportunity tonight. He goes, tonight it's you and Chase and Status in here. He goes, they're blowing up at the minute. What they're doing is it's going to be a good look for you and all that. I was like, right, let's get this. I had my missus out there. I remember being on stage at that time. You got to think I was only an MC for 2-3 years or something in the game.
Yeah, I must have been highly excited for...
Mate, it was high, and I come up on that stage. I had a couple of drinks on stage as well, so I've gone on there sober, and I'm trying to get myself through it, and I'm drinking. And by the time I come off of there, it was like, I'm in. You know what I mean? It was just a good feeling. Mate, I think that's probably...
Went quick that time?
It went really quick. But I still remember being on stage. So all the thousands of times you're out and you're doing gigs, and that must have hit at that stage there, thinking, "Wow,
bang!"
You know,
flown all quickly. Yeah, right.
That's
now,
it.
let's say, what's your worst experience?
Oh.
You don't have to go too deep if you don't want to.
Right, no. I know my worst experience as well. I just don't know if I want to say whose dance it was, because I don't want to sort of mention his dance.
You don't have to.
Anyway. Yeah. So I went to one of our mates' dance, going back, I'd say probably about 2008. And at that time there, as much as I do, there was a lot of chain robbing going on. So everybody was out robbing chains over people's necks. It was quite a bad place to be part of the scene at that time. It was like there was a bit of trouble in our scene then. And something sort of had to be done, and I remember going in to Carlin Academy, Islington, and it was someone's birthday, and we was in there doing it, and I come off set, it was me and you was doing set, and we smashed it in there. It was me, I think it might have been me, you and Probe that was doing a set in there that night. And I've come off set anyway, I've gone out down to room 2, and one of my pals was doing the room 2, and as I've come out of the room 2 down there, I've seen this crew of heads. I won't say where they're from or what crew they were, but there was this crew of heads going in, and they're a naughty crew from England. Yeah, like they're well known. And I see them walking in there, and I was like, no, what's gonna go on in here anyway? And one of the youths in there, he's tried to take one of the fucking boys' chains, and it's just gone off. The rave, I had my missus in there, I had my sister in there, there was loads of heads, do you know what I mean? And I just see the rave go from side to side. I was at the back of it. I come out of room 2, I'm looking at the rave, and yeah, mate, it was just from left to right. This bouncers ended up grabbing this geezer who's ended up trying to take one of the chains, and dragged him through to the front where the cloakroom was, where my missus' coat. We're trying to get out of the fucking building. I went up, shit, let's just get out of here. I've got my missus, got my sister. I was like, let's go. And as they've got the coat, they've dropped the coat where this geezer was, and her coat just got covered in claret, mate. We couldn't get out of there.
Oh, no. So what, your missus' coat's now got loads of blood on it?
Loads of blood, fucking. It's like she had this brown leather jacket, I remember it, and she just picked it up, and it was just all covered in claret. This geezer's guts, I'll say no more, he was in a state.
Oh, no.
Like, literally proper, yeah, mate. That's the one time I remember being in a rave and thinking, I've got to get out of here. ASAP, get the family, let's get out of it.
What would you say, best country that you've been?
Oh, you know what? Best country. I'd have to say that it's got to be home. Home is the best for doing things. But if I'm saying about, Germany. I have to big up my Germany crew. Yeah, Germany.
Well, they've been in it. Yeah, they've been in it from dot. So
yeah. Germany is. Do you know what? When I remember first going to a rave in Germany, and they were like giving it like a load of neuro. They like a lot of the neuro stuff and that over there, and it was like a workout. The fierce moving, the dancing, the raving. I was like,
energy, absolute energy. Yeah,
proper energy. So yeah, if it comes to it, big up my German crew. All the Germans, they know how to have a little rave up.
No, definitely. So now your son's getting involved in the music. Tell us all about that then. So,
you know what? He's a golden little gem because he's always been doing his little thing in the background. I've never made a noise about him. Innovator. He's just silent and be doing his thing. When I used to have the record deck set up at my mum's, we used to have this nice little stand thing. He'd come in and he'd be messing about, spinning them back. But, just doing what you're doing as kids, but always sort of involved, but not, if you know what I mean. I never looked at him and thought, he's training up to be a Jedi DJ, or do you know what I mean? It was like, he was doing his thing, but sort of silently in the background. And then, going back a few years here, he's there on the CDJs and he's coming up with all this stuff, like all these loops and all. And I'm sort of listening in the background and I'm like, is he watching YouTube? What's happening here? Where's he learning all this shit from?
You didn't know he could do all of this stuff at this point?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't have a clue, mate. At this point, I'm like, he's come down and the first sort of thing I see of it, he's gone, Dad, check this video. Like, have a look at this video. Yeah? And I've had a look at it, I'm just thinking, what is it? And I'm like, what? So, what? I was like, when's all this started? And he's like got a grin on his face and all that. And I was just like, from that moment, I knew that he was on it. You know what I mean? I could just see the passion on him. And then that was it. Like sometimes he'd be up there 7-8 hours a day, fucking mixing. You just hear your tune after tune. He'd be playing the same tune, another tune after the same tune, another tune. I'd be like, the boy is on it, you know? So yeah, he's kind of one of them ones, mate, where it was like, I'd never see it as him growing up too much. And then Bosch just out of nowhere, he just come and smashed it.
It's got it in the blood.
No, I'm really proud of him. Brilliant. We did a set there the other night. And it was fucking explosive, man. He knows how to control the crowd. He's doing really good. He's only young. He's making the beats now. He's got his foot in the door, doing his bits and pieces. He's getting booked by a certain few promoters and that now. And yeah, man, and you know what? He's really humble about it. He's not one of these kids that are arrogant and stuck up. And so, that man, enough love to him, and I wish him the best for the future.
So, regards to who would you like most? Could be anybody in the world. Who would you like to do a collab with? Either get on the mic with you, or make some music, or who at all?
Okay. Who would I really like to do some work with? Is that just across the board? You're saying with anybody?
With anybody at all? Yeah.
Anybody in the world? Yeah. If I was to think of somebody I would like, if I had one choice, it'd probably, I'd say Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That's anybody. You're asking anybody.
No, that's it. No, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Them two, they're absolute legends.
Brilliant. Wonderful. And then, right. Last but not least, would you fly like a bird or swim like a dolphin? What would you prefer?
Fly like a bird, no second thoughts. Fly like a bird.
Why is that then?
I don't know, because you remember growing up as kids and all that, you'd have dreams of flying in the sky and shit, like watching Superman, wishing to fly. And come on, flying is what the dream is, isn't it? You know,
wicked.
We all want to fly. Anybody can swim anyway. We can swim. We can do what a dolphin does. They can just do it better.
Wicked. No, brilliant. Right, Billy man, thanks for coming on the show.
No problem.
We'll see you out there. Thanks everybody watching. See you again next month. See ya.
Take care. Big up.
Tom, Billy, man, wicked to have you on the podcast show. Thanks for coming up.